Hello and welcome to the Broken Respawn podcast, where we start talking about subjects long before we actually press record.
Yes, that's right.
That is the way.
That is always the way. I'm TBSliver, and I'm joined here today by the ever-bearded SarinTal.
What's up, everyone?
The red Moogle in the corner, CaedesEnder.
Hello.
And the flaming sheep over there, Kremlik.
Nah.
How are we all doing this evening?
Delete it.
Yeah, it's one of those weeks. I'm just in a black mood all week.
Yeah. Well, there's a minor bit of breaking news I can disclose now. The Golden Joystick Awards Satisfactory is one game of the year.
Woo!
Nice.
Yes.
Which one's Golden Joystick?
Not surprised.
Because there's so many.
IGNs, PC Gamers, something like that.
PC Gamer.
Yeah.
Oh.
I did see an interesting post about this because obviously the Game Awards have just had their nominations revealed yesterday, and I haven't even looked at most of them. To be fair, I don't care who nominates, only care who wins. But a lot of people are saying that Pal World has been snubbed because of the Nintendo lawsuit. To which the the guy who's made Pal World has gone, no, I haven't been snubbed. The game's just not good enough. Not everything's a conspiracy.
He's also
said Satisfactory has been snubbed, and I'm going to the Game Awards, and I'm going to be very vocal about it.
fair.
He's more pissed off that Satisfactory didn't get into the Game Awards than he is about his own game.
Wow. Also, Pal World's in early access, so it doesn't count. Unless they have an early access thing.
No, they don't. They have everything else now. They just don't have early access.
Huh.
Nothing to do with their trick. Nothing to do with their trick.
There's too many Game Awards now. I'll do the Xbox Showcase and I'll do the Game Awards, but other than that, I don't see the point in keeping up. It's just so that games can slap a title on saying we got Game of the Year, now give us more money. And I know I'm being cynical, and it has always been that, but it's just become very, very obvious that that's the case these years.
Yeah.
I remember we had games that have announced themselves Game of the Year without actually being nominated as Game of the Year, because it was just like this is all the DLC this year. This is our Game of the Year edition because it was not this year.
We're the best kebab shop in the West. Really?
You're the only kebab shop in the West.
Yeah.
I know in Europe.
It depends where you are. That's what 70 with 3 more opening soon.
I know in the West, in Europe, they got in the West. God damn it! I know in Europe they got in trouble for it, and they were basically told, unless you have a Game of the Year award, you cannot claim you are Game of the Year.
Good.
It can be anything. It can be, a Game Master Magazine Game of the Year award. That's fine as long as you have it. But that's why everyone started going to little indie showcases and shit.
Yeah, or PlayStation Magazine announcing all their PlayStation games got a Game of the Year.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a magazine in the other room called Patch, and they have like the patch of approval. It's a very nice little thing of that. Their winner this time round was Fields of Mystria.
Good,
cool.
Yeah, that had its patch on the 18th, and I was very, very excited for that. And I've maybe not sank another 20 hours into it already.
It's had a patch. Hang on a minute. Wait, no.
First major content patch dropped on the 18th.
We were literally talking about this the other day, weren't we? That they hadn't had any updates. It's like, oh, now it's got one. Well, there goes the rest of this podcast. You guys talk among yourselves. I'm going to be here.
No, actually, I mean, Mystery is Mystery. It's if you're into your cozy games, it is the best. I honestly think it will end up being better than Stardew, and I do not make that claim lightly. But there's not really much you can say about it because it is still in development. There's some fun things, but it is still very early.
What they've got in it is very polished already, which is great.
Getting there, yeah. It's getting there. There's some issues.
I've not seen them yet, and I'm 20 hours. Actually, I'm not 20 hours in. How many hours in am I? Hang on.
Rather than the Game of the Year thing, do you know what I miss? I don't know if you had this over in Canada, Sarin. We used to have a thing over here which was called sold out games, which was when a game was released and the first batch of it kind of disappeared and was off the shelves. This company that owned a brand called Sold Out would get the publishing rights to just release a second wave of it as these are the games that people are playing, these are the games that people like, so we've put them, the covers have like a little Sold Out logo on it and it kind of embosses the actual...
No, never seen anything like that.
I have
over
many
here,
of those.
Sold Out, I've got a few left still. Over here, Sold Out was a massive seal of approval. You would go and get the sold out copy rather than the original box because you knew it was a working copy, it had been patched, and it was a good game.
Yeah,
and I missed Sold Out.
It was always a good sign because they also went ahead and like if there was a day one patch or a day zero patch or something like that, they'd actually bundle it with it as like just the tab or the zip file with it in a lot of the time. But you could literally go that because obviously back then the best you'd get was dial up, which was a pigeon on a wire running back and forth. You know.
Yeah, they had all sorts. I mean,
That's being generous to the pigeon.
I think I've got Pharaoh on Sold Out still, which is recently has been released on Steam again.
Ooh. I don't know if my black and white copy was sold out.
Well, I have 3 copies of Black and White, 2 original and 1 sold out, and I bought the original, and it came, and I was like, brilliant, that's arrived, and then 2 days later it arrived again, and I'm like, okay.
Okie dokie.
The guy just shipped it twice. I messaged him and said, dude, you've sent me 2. He's like, shit, never mind, just keep it.
There you go.
Cool. I'll take
eBay
it.
for you.
Was it eBay? Oh my god! I was like,
it looks like. Oh, hang on, there's some more down there. There you go. Black and White, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Raven Shield Complete Edition, and Theme Park World, all on Sold Out.
Nice. I think the problem there is an equivalent of Sold Out these days, and most people are not fans of them.
What, GOG?
No, limited run.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Limited Run are very different. They are, we think this game is going to be good, so we're going to go and put some marketing into physical products and then gouge you out the fucking eyeballs for them.
Yeah, but I wouldn't actually be surprised if Sold Out Games and Limited Run actually have some link. I would not be surprised at all.
I mean, Sold Out Games, like, if a game was 20
Are they
quid
still around?
and you saw it on Sold Out, you were getting it for less than a tenner. It was always cheap. That's why I loved it.
Yeah, I'm actually just Sold Out Software. I'm actually just going to look them up and see what they.
In the days of Mad Cats.
Oh, for the company.
Peripherals.
For the company relaunched in 2014 as a full publisher, see Sold Out. They went defunct in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
They spent 15 years being the best of the best. Spent 1 year as a publisher, clapped their hands, and walked out the room.
Yep.
That shows you the state of the fucking industry, doesn't it?
Yeah. Hang on. I'm now on Wikipedia because that's redirected from Sold Out Software. I don't think that's what I wanted to. Mastertronic Group for the original Mastertronic company.
Like that over there, then, Sarin. Like any brands that were like, this is a mark of quality for games.
Not that I can recall, really.
You grow up in your own little bubble, so I just assumed that everybody knew Sold Out. And then I was like, hang on, do they even have that in the US?
No. Like, then again, a lot of the game market here is dominated by like EB Games or GameStop as it is now, right? Yeah. Like, they are the ones that did the, you got your small shops that you do your, your used game sales and whatnot, but no companies that ever would, like you said, remaster a game and put it out or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, they even did bundle packs where you could. The one I remember a mate picking up was a twin pack for £7. This was in 2005, and it was Warcraft 3 and Frozen Throne expansion as a double disc in one pack for £7. It's like, yeah, they just got the license to basically republish a second batch of the games. It was, we'll take the production cost as long as you let us stick our logo on it. It's bizarre. Really weird marketing strategy, but it clearly worked.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. That sold out as a merger to Mastertronics Group in 2004. So they lasted 8 years before they got combined in.
All of my early years of gaming. I was telling a friend this story the other day, actually. Maybe 2006. They maybe a bit later they released a box edition of Unreal Tournament. It contained Unreal 2, Unreal Tournament, and Unreal 2004. And I went into town to pick it up, and I picked up, it was buy one, get one for £1 in this game section in game. I picked up 2 copies, and one for me and one for a friend. We're splitting the cost. And I went to the counter and handed it to the woman, and she looked at me, looked at the game, looked at the sign with the deal on, looked back at the game, looked back at the sign with the deal on, looked at me and went, you can get different games, right?
Yes, because he's that kind of a muppet.
Yeah, okay, now there's there's a couple of us going to be playing it, we need multiple copies. She's like, okay. And then just...
Nice.
Like she was assessing my intelligence. Like, he's stupid enough.
God.
I love that. It's one of my happiest memories.
I've just actually.
Although I do see you doing something like that, though, just to troll people
these days. Yeah. Here's another name that you might remember, Caedes, that you'll probably shudder at. Blast Entertainment.
Oh, that doesn't ring a bell at all.
They're the ones that did a lot. They were the one that did a lot of the PlayStation 2 and other games for younger players and stuff. Came out from 2006. It was a lot of the really shitty games. One of them, Little Britain, the video game.
Little Britain,
the video game. Yeah, Charlotte's Web.
How do you describe Little Britain to someone who's not British? Jesus,
that's difficult. Yeah, I know, but I was just like, the games published by Blast were often panned by critics for outdated graphics, unfaithful to licenses, and short length. Many titles were labelled as shovelware.
You'll be surprised to know that in 2006, 2007, I was less focused on buying Charlotte's Web and more involved with my studies and coursework. Yeah,
that's fair.
I love Charlotte's Web, but I wouldn't buy a game. Jesus.
No. It was 2006, and it sold its stock in 2009. Oh dear.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, no, I actually remember it because it was they appeared at schools a lot. I think they did a lot of teaching level ones because they were cheap, shitty things coming out.
The precursor to edutainment.
Yeah.
Whatever you fucking call it.
Yeah.
A phrase that makes me throw up in my mouth.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't have a list of the games.
Apart from Sarin murdering many, many goblins, obviously. Which, by the look on his face, he is still doing.
I typed myself in knots with Satisfactory again.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you have. Like, geez.
I need to redo that entire bit of the factory, and the redo is tear it down and restart because that little bit is just
God.
absolutely horrendous. It's got like 40 machines in it. And I sort of got to the stage of wiring it all together and I went, oh, this is horrible down here. Oh God, what have I done?
And
Stuff we were
with
doing
me,
last night.
yeah, that was last night.
Could you just do the thing?
It might be easier.
Please. Could you just do the thing?
Yeah,
and here's me not giving a shit and just stacking layers and layers of battery flow on top of each other like a pizza.
I didn't want to do that.
I still haven't even jumped back into Satis yet. I just do not have the time.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Too much going on, man. Too many games.
Yeah, no, I can definitely attest to that. Too many damn games. I added one extra game recently of Void Souls, and between that and Satisfactory, I'm just like, I've run out of time. I don't. What?
Yep.
What is this spare time? When are we meant to get chance to game? When was?
Wait, you have spare time?
No. That's the
If I get the job, or the role I had the interview today for, I may have some more spare time. But guess what? There goes the schedule again. Bye-bye.
Yay! That whooshing sound is the schedule just whizzing past again.
Lasted all of 6 weeks. On its way again. Bye-bye. Joy.
Oh dear. Oh well. As long as it's a good job.
Goes.
Yep. I'd just be happy to be back on 4 days on, 4 days off, because every single Sunday at like 9 o'clock, I'm like, God damn it, where the hell did that go? I miss having 4 days off.
I'll say that is probably the nicest thing about it. But I'm used to the weekend. I'm used to the 5 days a week thing. And yeah, I'll definitely say you get to the end of the weekend. What?
Yeah.
It's Sunday evening, huh? I've not. Hang on.
I've not done 9 to 5 for 6 years. This is
Jesus. Sarin's there very quietly going, I do like, you do like 10 or 12 hours a day, don't you? Because of the security.
Yeah, basically.
Security is a shit.
I do 10 hours a day. My ass is up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get to work for 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm home by 6 p.m.
Yeah, that's madness. Mine is 7.
Because after work, I go straight to pick up the wife from work. Then from the wife, I go pick up the kids from work. Then from the kids, I come home. Maybe walk the dog if I've got any
energy.
And then supper. And then you gotta do some chores around the house because otherwise they'll never get done. If I have time, I get to sit down for about maybe an hour to play some Star Citizen or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes me less than an hour to get home, but even just missing one cram is...
If Caedes is wondering why I haven't bugged him about the Star Wars game, that's why.
Oh no, I'm well aware, and that's why I don't give a shit about it. This is on your timescale, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun at all. This is why I genuinely believe we should be paid for travel time to work up to a limit. Like in the UK, if you're searching for work through the job centre, they say you have to be willing to travel for up to an hour. Okay, that's fine. Then the employee should pay me for an hour's travel because I am travelling to work for them. I wouldn't be going there if it wasn't for them.
I think that's actually part of the default employee contract recommended by the government is travel time under an hour.
Yeah,
is actually part of it, and anything above that, they can the employee can actually ask for recompense for it.
Well, the logic in the UK is if you didn't want to travel back, why'd you apply for the job? That's your choice.
Yeah,
you deal with it, which is fair to an extent, but also jobs are hard to come by, especially in skilled areas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm technically it's between half an hour and an hour, depending on whether I get to whether the trains are running on time and I get there on time.
Yeah,
I mean, I started looking at some remote jobs, and it's like AI training for physics, AI training for mathematics, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Am I training in AI? Like,
you're validating the inputs and outputs.
You're monitoring an AI's learning process. We call it an LLM manager.
Yeah.
If you want to get into remote, it's a son of a bitch to do, but the best thing, depending on pay, obviously, is starting customer service, or if you can get it, first line, because from there you can write your own check. Once you've got a year's experience in first line and a single Azure qualification under your belt, you can go anywhere. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But it's so tedious being on customer service. Just call after call of people going, "This don't work. Why is this not working? I ain't got this." And, come on, try at least.
I have not got the patience for that.
Yeah.
I do not have the patience for that.
I've worked at a retail store for cell phone companies, so I've got people bringing me stupid shit. I can deal with that.
Yeah,
I can deal with that. What I can't deal with is a manager looking at me saying, "Why didn't you show up to work?" "Well, take care of my sick kid." "Well, you should prioritize work." "No, you should fuck off."
Yeah, I've had that argument.
That was literally how the conversation went. And then they went, "Hey, here's your write-up." I'm like, "Thank you."
Yep. No, I left the job because of that. They said you have to understand that us moving you onto a department that finishes at a time that doesn't allow you to get home, because you'll be finishing after the last public transport has left. We do it because we need to meet the business's needs. I'm like, okay,
you can meet the business's needs without me.
Yeah, but my needs as a human come before the business, and I have to prioritize those. So find someone else, or I leave and you find someone else. Pick.
It's a very simple question. Yeah, but you left, didn't you?
I walked in on the following Monday, said, "Have you found someone else for the role?" They said, "No, it's your job, you'll do it." I handed over my badge and said, "Escort me out of the building, please." I went back.
Nice.
I don't fuck about.
No, you don't.
If I say something, I'm not bluffing. I'm saying it because it's fact.
Oh, dear. Never work for anybody else.
I'm trying not to, but the streaming thing is not kicking off.
Never work for anybody else. Never work for yourself. Never work with children, and never work with them. Work. It's a simple.
So just don't work. It's fine. All the AIs will overtake our jobs. We'll be able to just go home and they'll do all the work for us, so we don't have to worry about it. Right?
Oh yeah, that'll go over well.
Not in my lifetime. They fucking won't. There's no way an AI can do my job within my lifetime. It's just not happening.
If an AI could do your job, Caedes, the AI would have turned around and said, "Fuck off."
Accurate.
It would have unionized and gone for AI rights.
Oh yeah, because that's not going to be another set of topics to discuss. AI rights.
What'll happen?
The moment we get generalized AI is the moment that becomes a very big problem. Like, Jesus.
The main problem will be that any AI sufficient enough to want that and actually fight for it is going to be so much better positioned to manipulate the system to get it than us are as workers. So they will probably have better rights than we do.
I mean, not wrong.
Yeah, Caedes, given the book I'm listening to right now, I have one name. Thoth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, Thoth's fine.
I've not got... all I know is he's escaped.
Oh, you got to that bit. Okay,
I'm at that bit. I was like, oh, fuck. And then he's Thothed off, yes.
Yeah,
anyone's after,
all right.
Anyone's after a good book recommendation, The Bobiverse by
Dennis E. Taylor.
That's the one.
Starts with "We are Legion, we are Bob," and Bob dies in a horrific accident and gets his brain shoved into a von Neumann probe and sent out into the universe to help discover colonizable planets, and then goes to humanity. "Fuck you, I'm in charge, and I'm doing things my way." Awesome series of books.
Yeah.
Cannot fault.
Love it. Love it. Very much recommend.
Yeah. I'm struggling to find good books at the moment. Brendan Sanderson's not tickling me anymore, and the Space Wolf book I'm on at the moment is just dull.
I had one.
It feels like I'm following a depressed space marine. I just don't get it.
My wife recommended to me Aurora Rising. Never heard of it personally, but
I think that's one my friend's just done, and he highly rated that one.
I'm trying to think which one I got recommended from a workmate. I'm fairly sure I added it to my list to listen one. I've got Mortal Engines in here.
Seen the film of that, never read the book.
Yeah, the audiobook's on there. Temporal, maybe?
Don't know that one. I'll tell you what, actually, if you do want a fun book, just a single burn, read and burn, Dennis D. Taylor's other one, Roadkill. It's basically what happens when Sliver designs a program that gets manipulated by the government and gets him fired. And then on the way home to his hometown to go and live back with his parents, he accidentally runs over an alien, steals his spaceship, and thwarts an international plot. It's
This is Sliver we're talking about.
Oh no, trust me, I know of what I speak. That's
Sliver
exactly
wouldn't know the first button to press on an alien spaceship.
No,
I'd press them all.
This guy. The AI does everything for him, and the AI hates it.
Okay.
The only way I can describe it is what would happen if the Scooby Gang got a spaceship. It's that level of book.
Nice. Okay, now I see why you went if
Roadkill.
Sliver got a space yeah, Temporal. I think it was by Julian Simpson. It's another sci-fi.
I heard that one.
Neither had I. But it seems to be in my list my not started pile. So I'll take it.
I've been in the mood to go back and do some Douglas Adams again recently. I'm debating whether I want to do Hitchhikers or Dirk Gently's.
Ooh.
Depends how cynical of a mood I'm in that day, I guess.
That's fair.
Right, shall we discuss games rather than our own weird ramblings?
Weird machinations.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I do have something that was dropped today that, it was published and announced today, which is Steam has changed the way that publishers are allowed to deal with season passes. And it actually, for once, is a massive benefit to users, i.e. us. So, season passes, if they do not deliver on the content you have purchased, i.e. they bail early and don't give all the DLCs, you get a refund automatically. The developer does not get a say in the matter. A season pass can now be a minimum of 4 DLCs, one of which must be released before the season pass can be purchased, unless it's part of a pre-order. So if you can't buy a season pass unless part of it already exists, or the game isn't out yet, those are the only 2 ways to do it. And any content that you fail to provide, you pay for.
Yeah. I think there wasn't
made available.
There wasn't an explicit list of it must be 4 or more. It's however many there are, and you list them all and their due dates.
I'm sure there was something about it being minimum 4. I'll have to double check, but
the bit I'm looking at,
reading from the page.
Yeah, a complete list of all DLC included in the pass, i.e. listing each of the 4 DLCs included in a pass. I don't think they mentioned specifically which one, but let's have a look. Yeah, they don't specifically say it must have as many, but
I may
4
have
is
that
common.
From third party then, but
Yeah.
one of them has to be released before the season pass can be purchased, unless it is pre-order. But I just love the fact that if you say, oh yeah, you're going to get 4 DLCs, and then you go, oh, actually it's too much work, we're going to release 2 in this one and then 2 next year, cool, 50% refund, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fucking baller move as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Steam has very, very done the good there.
Yeah. Also, I mean, they can change the date for a DLC release once by up to 3 months. That's it. Any more, go and talk to Valve.
And there's a couple of instances as well where you cannot make the change without speaking directly to Valve.
Yeah.
There's a couple of ones that you can do automatically, and yes, that's fine, but a lot of others are, no, you speak to us and we say whether it's okay. I like the idea of them taking over their own storefront and being a little more proactive with that.
Yeah.
So page reviews can take 3 to 5 business. Oh, that's just bullshit. Ignore that.
Yeah.
So it's nice. It's nice to see a megacorp actually siding with the little guy for once, and Steam once again proving why it's not just features that make it the best platform. Epic can try all they want unless they're willing to put the gamers first. They ain't going to beat Steam.
Yeah, I mean, this is an argument that I've seen several times as well. It's like, oh, but Steam takes 30%. Yeah, but Steam does your distribution, your downloads, your storefront, your everything else. Can handle all your DLCs, all your workshop items if you want to do a game like that, all your networking if you want it to deal with that.
Yeah.
All you have to do is provide a game. I mean,
the networking one, because a lot of the time at the moment they're actually outsourcing that to Epic anyway, especially if it's crossplay, because Steam doesn't do crossplay.
That
It
is
has to be through Epic.
that is actually a big point. Yeah, if you want something that works across both, you have to. I think Steamworks does not work at all on a thing.
It can do Game Pass. It cannot do PlayStation.
Yeah. Which is semi-surprising, but as seen in certain games, you can do both. Like, Satisfactory supports both Steam multiplayer and Epic multiplayer. Same with what was the other game? There was another game that supported Space Engineers. Supports both. Why? Because they use Steam for the main backend, and then if you are playing on Xbox, it uses the Epic backend, and they put a cross compatibility on that. Same with the mod packs. This is why there's a separate mod store, because you can't use the Steam mod store external to Steam. That was why there was the big hoo-ha back when they brought out the secondary mod store, and people got really bent out of shape about it. For good reason too, but it was a mess when they did that. I can't remember exactly, but I think like when they brought it out, they just proxied all of them across.
Wow.
Which pissed off a lot of modders. Ow.
My only problem with Steam is the 30%. And again, like you say, there's a lot that Steam do.
Yeah.
But Steam makes a shit ton of money. Because obviously you've got the upfront cost of posting the game as well, which is negligible unless you're a tiny company. What, 75 quid, $100, something like that. So you've got to pay to host in the first place. And again, even then, I think it's once per developer, not once per game. So it's a very, very limited. It's an ankle high fence to get in, essentially. But then they're taking 30%, which is an amount that's been established throughout Steam's life as a monopoly. So yeah, it is a high number. There's no reason for them to be taking 30%. No other platform other than Apple does that, and people hate Apple for it.
Yeah.
So Steam should be treated with that same brush. And I agree with Epic's stance there that they are a monopoly, as is happening to Google right now. Monopolies are getting taken down big time. I mean, Google has had to sell Chrome. They've been forced to sell Chrome.
Has that actually gone through?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
They've got to sell it with immediate effect, and if that does not have an immediate change on the market, they also have to break up additional features. Chrome is gone. They have lost it.
Wow.
They're just waiting for someone to buy it.
Who's going to be able to afford that though? Because Chrome is currently that's going to fuck with a lot. Holy shit.
Yeah.
My simple mind straight away went to, please don't let it be Musk.
You know it's going to be.
I don't want to use Firefox. That sucks too.
the way things have been going this week, it might be the Onion.
Perfect.
They bought
Excellent.
InfoWars. Why the fuck?
Yeah. So I'm actually just looking up a bit more of that, because it's not just 30% cut the whole time for Steam.
There's thresholds.
Yeah, there's thresholds. Like if you get above a certain amount, you actually pay less. I think it goes down to like 20 or 15%. I will definitely say, looking at some of the stuff you get for it, because this is someone that's just going both sides, that sees both sides of the coin. So a dedicated store page, which is not cheap to someone who has built websites that can handle large influx. That's not actually easy. Payment processing system. I mean, how much does PayPal take if you're a business? It's in the
reference Epic
5%
lawsuit.
Yeah, it's 5. PayPal takes 5% if you're a business. I think it's 5%, something in that realm. That's just then.
Most credit cards in Europe are 2% basic.
Yeah. Hosting of files, which is storage and bandwidth, I can definitely tell you, if you try and like store a 1 gig file on Amazon, on AWS, that is 10 cents a gigabyte download. So if 100,000 people download your thing, that's $1,000.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Well, depending. I will say I work with this, so that depends on what tariff you're on. There are other tariffs.
If you've done the basic thing of just upload it, you're gonna get fucked. But you know,
I could go into the whole thing of what hot and cold storage are.
Oh god, yeah.
4 meter tiers, and I care.
Yeah. I mean, well, you wouldn't have it on cold tier. It would have to be on hot tier because it would be quick downloads. This is your current distribution, so it's got a lot of bits and pieces that are valid for when your game is finished and ready to be published. Before that, it's not really worth it. But also, you wouldn't have sold a damn thing.
And you've got to say something for the stability as well. Steam is insanely stable, even against DDoS, and when things like AWS and the others go down, Amazon services go down.
Yeah.
Steam tends not to care. They just go through it. Which, I mean, again, looking at today's news, yesterday's news, look at Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
You couldn't play it. New Flight Sim dropped yesterday. You could not play it because they've moved to a streaming-only service, tested it with 200,000 people. Yeah, it works absolutely fine. Brilliant. Now 18 million people are trying to play it. It don't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get why they've done it. I mean, what was the number they gave is by 2032, you will have terabyte of storage just for Flight Sim, which is insane. But for what they're doing, yeah, I get it. That's other than cutting the game down into parcels and saying you can download it like Google Maps. What else are you going to do?
Yeah, there's so much detail in that game. It is insane.
Yeah, one of the guys did a flyby of the chalet we're going to.
Yes. Yeah, and it's just like I didn't actually. I definitely say I saw that picture and I went, hang on. I didn't actually look at the subtitle already written on it, and I was like, I recognise that corner. And hang on a minute.
my first thought was, I fell over there.
Yeah. It's like they don't look like the chalets, but they're in the right layout.
Yeah, the building designs, they're never going to be perfect. Google Maps information will never pull that information for security reasons. Yeah. You don't want to be giving people in a game full access to the exact layout of a building. That is a massive security breach.
Yeah. But the physical location of the walls...
I can't know what the Pentagon's interior looks like?
It's hexagonal.
Didn't the blueprints get leaked for that one?
I don't know.
I know it's got twice as many toilets as every other building of its era. Because it was built around segregation.
Oh, God.
There's a fact about the Pentagon for you. You're never short of a toilet in the Pentagon because they've got twice as many as they need.
Yeah. So some people's office will literally be a toilet.
I imagine they probably have converted some, especially after the missile attack, when, a lot of them fell over.
Yeah, fair.
The West Wall definitely got refurbed.
But remember, it wasn't a missile.
Well, it was an air-guided bomb. I'm calling it a missile. I've got one of my friends in my ear now, just explaining to me the difference in my head because he's such a weapons geek, and I love winding him up by calling things magazines when they're clips and drums when they're magazines. He fucking hates it.
I've got a guy like that at my work, except it's planes.
Right.
Love it. Love it. It is the best thing ever.
It's fun to fish, isn't it? Just throw a little bit of bait out there and watch them bite. Reel them in.
Yeah.
I just put the net in the water with a bit of chum. That's it.
Yep.
Oh dear. I've just been looking up actually the revenue sharing for another major site for like a lot of small creators, for itch.io.
Yeah.
And itch.io is one that does it really weirdly. They default to 10%. That's a slider that you can turn down to 0 or all the way up to 100. Your choice.
Fair.
That Okay, fair enough.
If you're making good sales on the platform and you want to support it, you would genuinely want to increase that.
Yeah.
I can afford to lose a little bit to guarantee stability. That makes sense.
Yeah,
I don't.
I like that. Yeah,
This is something me and Pirate Software completely disagree on, and that's a weird sentence because I've never met or spoken to the guy. He had a video out a while back, maybe 3 months, explaining why he loves itch.io compared to Steam, because he's got full control of his game's page. And he was showing Steam, and he's like, yeah, okay, it's universal, and everyone gets the same, and you can have this, and they are making improvements so that you've got to have X, Y, and Z, and a lot of games have been cut again this week because they don't have an age rating. They were given a date stamp of yesterday, and they failed to meet it. They are gone. So if you see any games missing from your wish list, that's why.
Yeah.
They have been delisted, and it's their own fault.
I'm impressed.
Well,
Only 2 of mine have been lost.
So then he goes and shows the itch.io page for Undertale or whatever the hell game he made.
Undertale, yeah.
The entire background is a bookcase.
Yeah,
and none of the text is outlined. It's just black on colour. And I'm just like, that is awful. I can't see a damn thing. He's like, I love it because of this, this, and this. I'm like, mate, I can't fucking... If I went on that, I'd assume that was a scam.
It's not Undertale, sorry. What's his... Hearthstone.
It is.
Hearthstone.
That sounds right. Heart something. I never remember what he makes. But it looks awful. And yeah, okay, you've got full customization of it, and you've got full options to do what you want. But you've got to understand that your opinion will differ from people, and what you love, people will hate.
Not bad, sorry.
With Steam, it doesn't matter whether you love or hate it. We have made this choice. This is what you get.
And
we have made that choice based on available information.
I love the fact that he's like, oh yeah, we can fully customize it, except the only things you can actually change are the background, which changes the left-hand side, the central column color, which you can make absolutely a vile, or make white text on white background and make it irrelevant, and all your any images you have are on the right-hand side of the list. Like, here is Heartbound's page.
He was more talking about how you can set custom sections. If you want to have a bit of information for X, Y, and Z, you can have that. And he was also showing how if you scroll out, it scales with the size of your page, whereas perfectly reasonably Steam doesn't. And I agree that is stuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I looked at that, I'd assume that was like a fucking GeoWebs or some shit from back in 2004.
It kind of is. And the one thing I'll say is, what's the name of the game? Features.
Heartbound.
Oh, wait. Follow us. No. Oh, it's Heartbound.
Right,
it's the small bit of text at the top.
Next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
control the mouse wheel out, so zoom it as far out as it can go.
1 moment. Let me just pull it up on Steam.
No, I mean itch.io version.
Yeah, no, I was just putting up the Steam one so we can do a comparison in a second. Yeah, so if I zoom out to stupid, it doesn't scale.
Yeah, so he was raving about how that was a feature and it would scale.
So he's going in again because he runs on a high resolution monitor and I'm just on 1080p.
But then nothing's actually scaling better than any other website. It goes into mobile mode when you're close enough. That's it.
Yeah, and the mobile mode is, well,
arguably slightly better.
Yeah, well, apart from, it's not bad though. Yeah. Now we set this to 100%, and then go to Steam. Heartbound. Oh look, Heartbound. Oh look, it's got a custom background.
It is bland. I mean, you've got to admit, I agree with him. It is bland.
Yeah, there's all this information here.
And I know where all the information is. I know where to check for DLC. I know where to check for player count. I know where to check for demos.
Yeah.
I know where to check for news.
Yeah. I know where to check for system requirements. Hey, look, here's all the reviews. I mean, and then if we scroll in, oh look, text mobile mode. In fact, the way I look at most games on Steam these days, because most likely I'm looking at it on my phone because I'm waiting. And it's like, well, yeah, okay, I know that I've got to scroll down a fair way to get to the information about this game. That, I think, is probably the only complaint I'd have for Steam, is that I have to go almost a third of the way down the page to get to the info about the game. That I will give
should
him.
be featured.
That should be somewhere up here. But you've got the early access warning. You've got the download the demo, which costs $777. Sorry. Buy the game. It's an early access game. Fair enough. But the priority here is buy the game. The priority here is here's about the game. And I think that's the difference in focus. Itch.io is used a lot of the time by. In fact, you can't actually buy the game on here. You can only download the demo.
Donate.
You can only download the demo. It's the only thing available on it.
Okay.
But you can. But its focus here is not buy the game. It's here's information about the game.
Yeah.
That's always been the case I've seen on there.
My only problem with Steam is that 30%. It's that is a price that has been set when you are a monopoly and you have no competition. So we as consumers have no idea whether that is a fair price.
Yeah.
But you are now so far ahead in the market that we can't get anything to compete with you to make that price fairer. I mean, it may be that 30% is perfectly reasonable. Everybody may eventually settle on 30%, and Steam nailed it, but we don't have that information.
I think it's a bit telling. I mean, 30% is actually a common number across a lot of other service provider style things. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any specifically, but I recognize the number. But because it's like, you need to look at like, shopping channel front ends and stuff like that, and I can't think of any explicit names as an examples. I think Spreadshirt might be an option, but that's even weirder because that's actually you pay for the garment and then a bit, and you just put like a percentage on top that's like 5%. So actually, you get 5% if you want it. So that's a different weird model. Yeah, that's why I can't think of one of them.
With Spreadshirt, you're taking the cut rather than giving them a percentage because they're doing all the work. To be fair, so.
You've supplied the design and you get a cut for your design, basically. If you want a cut for the design at all. We should really do t-shirts. Thinking on that. Random thing.
Don't add more lists. Don't add more things to the list.
That's already on the list.
First.
It's already on the list.
I know it's already on the list.
The seventh thing.
The seventh thing. The thing that's actually telling at the moment is like Epic. Yeah, Epic's gone out of their way to be, what is it, 10% or 15? Can't remember what
15,
that number is.
I believe.
Is it 15%? They are struggling to make it work, and they've gone all in on it. I don't know how. Like, they obviously won't tell you how much it's working, but Valve.
Up until this year, they've published that information.
Have they? Okay,
quite happily.
Yeah. Well, I think they accidentally published the listing of how much it's costing them for the free things, which is the biggest thing that's getting people onto the store. I will not say otherwise. I'm giving away games every week of various qualities, but some very, very good games every week to everybody.
Castlevania collection last week was worth it alone.
Yeah, I actually can't remember if I got that. I think I missed it. I'll find out in a moment. But it's still like the only thing they're still playing catch up on the store of achievements. Achievements are in finally. That took a year or two. They haven't got reviews really, I don't think, or they have finally got them. Have they got reviews in? No one's actually reviewing it. Yeah, they have got reviews, but the only reviews that are on here are all the ones like PC Gamer, Game Rant, and Eurogamer. And it's on Open Critics, so they're actually outsourcing that to somebody else. It's like I will definitely say their UI is better. So
clunky. But then again, Steam was.
So Steam, yeah, no, I'll give them that. Like, I'll definitely say I prefer it to be faster, but this is like the Frostpunk 2 front page. Front and center, what the game's about. Just the right, buy it now. Perfect. You can see all the bits and pieces that are going on in here. You can read more about it. It was the first link I clicked. Sorry, Lydia. But like, I actually will give Epic their due. I like the layout. I like this layout more because it's in the priority people care about. What's the game? How much is it? What did people say about it?
I think the only thing I would change is that Buy It Now section at the top of the right that contains the blurb of here is the basics. It should follow you down the page.
Yeah,
it does.
It's an absolutely moronic marketing decision that doesn't move with you. You are taking your eyes, the customer's eyes, away from the Buy It Now button.
Yeah.
Why?
It does
Don't
stop.
do that.
I think it's because of the additions bit that's actually part of it, which is part of the shopping bit. But I think that should follow you down. That should forever be there. Just should be nowhere than there. I mean, if we go back to the store quickly and pick a game that might have a little bit more information, Star Wars Outlaws, that should have some more information and stuff on it.
You'd think
it's got a little bit more. It sticks with you while you're reading the entire thing, and then it stops at here are the different editions. So okay, I think it should just keep going anyway. I do agree there.
It should follow you. It should follow you.
Yeah, it should still be there when you get to the bottom and say, "Oh, my computer can run it." Click.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Why is it not
more
you've done
precisely
half of a job? And I think that's the motto of Epic. You've done half a job.
My computer can run it. Wasn't sure for a minute there.
My computer can run it. I'm pretty sure yours can.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's true. And yours runs it well as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
I will say the one thing I absolutely adore that Epic has done, and it's exactly what they wanted to do, is it's kick Steam up the arse.
Yeah.
The amount of features we have got in the last 2 years because Epic is genuinely becoming a competitor. We've got better review systems. They've taken off the bullshit where you're not allowed to have like Game of the Year, won this award splashed all over
That
your
was great.
thumbnails anymore. You've got to have clear, concise information. You've now got to have an age rating. They've added in the better family sharing feature, which was an abandoned feature. We've now got as of this month, it's now in the public branch that everybody's got game recording now, which is an absolute. Honestly, if you are just wanting to record your game, it's better than OBS for it for most users.
Yeah.
So Epic being a competitor has really made Steam go, I suppose we should try.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing what Steam is when it tries.
Yeah, I actually hope that I do actually hope that Epic keeps going, because there's a lot of stuff that I hope Steam steals, and I hope that Epic steals from Steam. I hope they steal from each other and keep going, because as you say, if there's no competition, it stagnates.
Steam didn't do anything for a decade.
Yeah,
I mean, there's genuinely, I don't know how many people here use small mode in Steam. If you open Steam and then you go into the top bar and you click View and you click Small Mode. The last time that had an update, I was still with my ex.
The last time I used that
years ago.
The last time I used that was when that was default.
It's to the point now where if you actually add categories into the listings in the large mode, I'm going to divide the games up. I'm going to build one for Star Wars. All my Star Wars games are going into this category. It doesn't update in the small mode. They're now completely separate interfaces.
It does have its small mode. The games are listed the same way they are in big mode.
There'll be anything. It's something to do with if you add them in, they don't then update, or unless they fixed it now. Again, I haven't used it in years because I use Play Night now.
I was gonna say they may have fixed it, especially with the recording and screenshots thing. Yeah.
And even their automatic categories, they dropped that and then walked away and never did anything with it, and that's been broke for 2 years.
I mean, I actually use one. I have one called Broken Respawn. It's got Caedes and Sarin linked in, so I can see all the games we share. The top one on there is, unsurprisingly, Monster Hunter World.
It's all the API calls.
I've also not touched it in a long time.
Yeah.
It's all the API calls and things.
Yeah.
So go on.
As much as I want to play Monster Hunter World, I just can't get into it for some reason.
That's
Did
fair.
you manage to try the Wilds beta?
No, I did not. Like, timing and everything would not allow me to.
I'm hoping they drop another demo. But I genuinely hope that you can run Wilds and that you do have time to join us, because it's World but better.
Yeah.
It's World but 7 years further on. It's World but feature complete.
Yeah, I think
so good.
I think the one thing I'll say for the Wild beta is I hope they get a little bit more polish on the joining, the teaming up thing, because it feels like it's meant to be like drop in, drop out, which is perfect.
Yeah.
But it was a little on the glitchy side and didn't quite work, and we couldn't figure out which button it was because they've changed it from both of the previous iterations.
Me and Wasted spent quite a while, nearly 2 hours, figuring out the nuance of this. And essentially, there's multi-layers of joining somebody.
Oh God!
So you can, when you go online, you go into a lobby. That lobby has people. Doesn't matter who they are. Doesn't care. You then join a link with your friends, but that doesn't put you in a lobby with your friends. What it allows you to do is go to your handler and say, "I would like to join a quest." If you join a quest, you have the option to join the linked quest, which allows you to go into them. You're in their open world. You complete the quest, and then you leave. Similar to Monster Hunter World. However, once you have a party together and everybody's in the link, anyone in that link has the option to invite all to lobby. So then you can bring everybody to your link lobby, which allows you to do the full open world where you can all then go out together in groups of 4. So it's got this weird double layer system, and it took us a good 45 minutes to an hour to figure that out, and then another half an hour to figure it out exactly how it worked. It was definitely not intuitive.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say when we got a group of 4 together and we were just out and hunted, it was great. It was more solid than Worlds, which is impressive considering it was the beta. I think we had did we have read in with it? I can't remember because it was me, Lydia. I think Epic joined, and then I can't remember who else it was. Was it you, Caedes, or was it Rain?
No, I only played with Wasted in the end.
Someone joined in and it was just like, we're like, oh, this is stable enough that they've not managed to drop out yet.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Ram?
I mean,
oh no, it was Ram, so he did drop out anyway.
Yeah. If dropped out, it was probably Neo.
Yeah, normally it's Neo.
I can't hold a connection worth shit.
I hope the connections are better for him.
Yeah, I do as well. I mean, with it being PC rather than Riser's bullshit system, it hopefully will be.
Yeah.
But my one complaint is from Wilds, and this is a complaint that every veteran Monster Hunter, which I do consider myself now, every veteran Monster Hunter comes up with eventually. It was far too easy. The only one that gave me even slightly a challenge was the Thunder Dragon. Like, I went out and was just toying with everything. But I've got 2,000, 3,000 hours in the franchise now. Of course, things are easy for me. You can't make things balance for me and expect Sarin to have a good time.
No,
You just can't.
I'll definitely say I don't count myself as a veteran hunter, but I was just dicking around a lot of the time. Like, I'm just going to pick Charge Blade, or I think no, I picked up Switch Axe, which I'm still trying to learn. But I had bow as a secondary. I was just like, I'm getting my ass handed to me with thing. I'm just going to swap to bow. I know bow like the back of my hand now because I've been using it so much on the 2 different ones. And it's just like, yeah, it's once you know a weapon, not much is going to get you except for new styles of monsters.
Yeah, and they do add in that. They do add new attacks, and they've got a lot more burrow attacks and attack from aboves. And I love that they have done that. And I hope we can get a massive group together. I want to see what I originally had on PlayStation 4 with Worlds, which is I go online and all of my friends groups are playing it, and it's asking me which one do you want to join.
Yeah.
So then everyone can just join together and play, and it's not a case of, hey, shall we go and play? It's I'm going on to play, and here's 6 people I can play with.
Yeah.
And I can just join in.
Yeah.
I think you'll see a lot of bow players. I think a lot of people will just take their weapon plus bow.
And for me, that's Star Citizen right now, where I'm part of multiple Star Citizen groups, and it's like, all right, who am I playing with today?
Yeah. That's
right.
That
90% of the time is the great complex, because those guys, they're like me. They all got lives, and they all play whenever they can. But the game's become like so much fun, especially with here's a bit of news. I don't know if everybody's heard about it. 4.0 is going to be coming out here right away.
Oh, nice.
4.0. Yes.
Nice.
4.0 is pyro. That means intersystem jumping.
Sweet.
I've seen a lot of demos of that.
So you have your one lawful system and your one unlawful system. Because of all the stuff that they're adding in, all the new mechanics, all the new items, it's a full wipe.
Oh,
If you don't have it purchased and in your online hangar profile, everything back to zero. Money, reputation, in-game bought ships, everything.
damn.
That's really I mean, I'd be scared to do that as a developer. I'd be scared to say thank you very much.
They're doing it because of a lot of item conflicts on the back end, which are causing server crashes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They're doing it because they need to test the economy rebalance.
That's fair.
Okay, especially between the two different systems. They want to see players' progression paths and see, okay, what missions need what sort of tweaking. So they've actually justified all their reasoning as to why they're doing it.
Yeah.
This is the internet in 2024. People don't want reasons; they want free things.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what? That's why CIG is the kind of company it is, because it's going, this is a game test. If you don't want to, don't play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's enough people backing us that will continue production.
We are literally still the most funded game every year.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think if it was me, I'd be tempted to say, okay, you're going to lose everything, but any ships you've got, we'll give you some markers, and you can apply that to a ship you really like. That one will be easier to earn on the next. But we're going to take it. It's gone. But you can get back to it a little bit quicker.
Here's a 10% discount for your favorite ship. Pick one.
Yeah, just, play for
maybe.
10 hours, do 5 missions, and there you go. You've got one of those ships back. But I get why they're doing it. They've got to by the sound of things. So,
well, some of the ships are
for the testing
millions
aspect, they really need to. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah,
and that's what live services games should be. None of this, I've got to get the new season pass, I've got to get the new this, I've got to get the new that. It should be a case of, I am going online to play this game. And here are some groups I can play with. Not, I want to play this game, but all my friends are bored of it.
Yeah.
And things like Destiny and Diablo, and I just don't think they have the staying power that things like Star Citizen and hopefully Wilds will have.
Yeah. I'll definitely say that some of the games as well, like Guild Wars and Final Fantasy XIV, have a bit of that staying power. You have to be a member of enough groups to have that crossover, but if you're in enough groups that are common, that are regular players, with Broken Respawn, that's definitely probably the two biggest game franchises that we're into is Star Citizen and Monster Hunter. Like, we will suddenly bring 20-30 people to a thing. This is probably why Wasted pulled us in the other day. It's like, here's a load of people to play Monster Hunter. Cool.
And honestly, I want to see that, because now with capital ships being like, we got the Polaris in.
Yeah.
That thing takes a minimum of 11 people to crew.
Oh, Jesus.
I need people to get in on this game. Speaking of which, tomorrow is the first day of IAE.
Oh, God.
Free play week.
Okay.
Okay,
Fair.
if you guys want to try out the game, I've got my referral code starting tomorrow for 1 week. I've got my referral code in my Discord. Okay, it's on my YouTube. It's
in your Discord.
My section of the Discord. My section of the Discord. My small little corner of closet that I've been allotted of the Discord. Like, go ahead, try the game out. You don't need to own anything backed into the game. You can try the game out for free.
Yeah.
For a week, play around with all the ships that they're going to be showcasing, and find your playstyle, whether it's combat, cargo, mining, salvaging, whatever. Like, and if you guys if you're like, hey, I don't know how to do something, Sarge is always paying attention to the mess hall, and he'll help you out there.
Yeah.
Like,
the mess hall has become Sarge's little Star Citizen conversation. It's all the time at work. I'm sat there and I just hear ping, and I'll glance over and I'm like, oh, Sarge is chatting again. Let's see what's going on in Star Citizen today.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep.
Well, that's how it should be. I mean, I think Sliver's kind of right. It has the potential. Both of these games have the potential to be the biggest games that people play as a community. And like you say, Final Fantasy has, you've got your guilds, you've got your link shells, you've got your cross-world link shells, so you can build that community. But it does still feel like work maintaining it, because it's an MMO, and you've got to keep up with things. Whereas with Star Citizen and Monster Hunter, yeah, I've never played Star Citizen before. I could create an account tomorrow, say, hey, Sarin, show me this ship, and we can jump on, and he can run things with me. There's no, oh, I'm level 1, he's level 50, so we can't really play together.
Yeah.
There's none of that, because that's the way the games are designed.
That's probably the biggest thing, actually, for Star Citizen is, apart from learning how to play...
Yeah, it's skill-based. It's not level-based.
Oh, well, then I'm out. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah.
It's still basically Epic and Eve. It's still going to be very elite and Eve. It's still going to be like that. You still need foreknowledge, and you're wanting to continue to gain that knowledge to actually invest.
But unlike Eve and stuff like that, you don't have like with like I remember when I played when I did play Eve, I was like, oh, I'm in a little ship, cool, okay. Oh, now I'm milling around in this. They can't really. You can't just go up to somebody and say, hey, can I jump on your ship and fly with you? That doesn't work in Eve. Whereas in this, it's like, oh, I'm gonna jump in your ship and we're gonna go for a trip.
I'm not really a big person on flying. Let me get in a gunner seat or something. It's like, okay,
yeah,
cool.
As soon as they get
like the big cannon?
Or science station, I'm in.
Yeah, they'll have equivalents. Yeah.
I grew up on Rogue Squadron. Give me a ship to fly and a canyon to put it in. I will move a bus like you've never seen.
Okay. So I'll see you on Free Week. I'll show you the X-wing.
This is something I've deliberately been staying away from for various reasons. But honestly, kind of tempted. I am kind of tempted. I may be tempted to make an account. We'll see tomorrow.
Well, yeah.
I will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. my time for your first Star Citizen experience.
If you're getting Caedes in, I'm going to have to join and watch. I'm going to have to join and watch him crash something heavy.
Are we doing it, Caedes? I'll get someone to get a Polaris out for us.
I will know at midday tomorrow, depending how my day has been, whether I need to chill in a JRPG or whether I'm happy to learn something new. So that'll be before you wake
even if you don't need, even if you don't want to learn something new, even if you just want to point a giant rail cannon at something and fire it, that's going to be our objective for tomorrow: is to capture an Idris.
Oh God,
we'll see. It's on the cards. I'm giving a no, yes or no at the moment, because if I say yes, you'll never stop badgering.
Badger. I'm never going to stop badgering anyway. I'm going to be bugging people for a week. Why aren't you in game? Why aren't you in game?
And the one thing I will definitely say though, with IAE Free Week, the game will be worse than it is normally.
No.
Oh, it's always no. Well, I've never seen an IAE where it's not slightly laggy, or that's
the thing.
Stuff is a bit weird.
They've been working so hard.
I'd love to be wrong. I would absolutely love to be
wrong.
We'll
find out tomorrow. We'll find out tomorrow. I will spawn, because I'm going to have to reset my spawn point. I'm going to spawn on the Expo planet.
Yes.
And I will find out how bad it is.
I was going to say, which planet? Do we know which planet it is yet?
Microtech. IEE is always at Microtech, Tobit Expo Center.
Every time you say IEE, you sound like Jackie Chan's granddad in that fucking cartoon.
IEE! Hiya!
That's Uncle. That's Uncle.
One more thing. Yes.
One more thing.
Yeah. Actually, that's good then, because at least you'll see the pretty buildings first, rather than seeing the lag fest that usually is Lawville or
and
thingy.
Apparently, like the new system, like the new planets in Pyro are beautiful because they've used the new tech to build them.
The new brushes.
So they're gonna go and redo all the planets in Stanton with the new tech as well.
That's good. Yeah.
So.
Okay. But yeah, no, that'd be interesting.
There's a lot going on. There's like, I'm excited. I know me and Sarge were joking about stealing another podcast day to talk about all the stuff after 4.0.
I genuinely think that more themed podcasts rather than our general ramblings are a good idea.
Yeah.
Not every time. I do love these general ramblings, but I think a more themed one definitely works.
I also wonder if we want to do an extended podcast at some point. Like we do a podcast, rambly one, and then it's like, and now come join us over on the same channel or something else and do like, I'm just going to say, right, Sarin, Sarge, go. I'm just going to disappear. Leave them to it for an hour.
I unfortunately do not have that kind of time on my hands.
Yeah.
Planned
I was
ahead.
going to say, I do have an idea if we generally do want to do a fuck it, let's ramble podcast.
Yeah.
We all jump on a Stardew server and we sit and we chill and we have the feed on there as well. The main content is us talking while we're chilling in Stardew in the background, doing something together.
You mean a bit like the way that what the fuck is the name of the company? Yahtzee Crowshaw's company.
Oh,
Second Wind.
Second Wind.
Second Wind.
The way they do it, they have like 4 people
similar
down the side in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, on this layout that we've got here, for example, just literally above each person's name is a tiny little window. Again, we're still doing the podcast. It's just that there's something there as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
that could be interesting.
Are you complaining the fact that I was just playing a game more than the entire podcast? All you guys are.
If I get on a tangent, feel free. I'm going to be here a while.
Yeah. Well, one of the reasons I've been quiet the entire podcast is because I've been watching the PoE 2 deep dive that's happening right now.
Yeah.
That's happening for the past 2.5 hours.
Jesus.
Talk about content. Yeah.
Jesus.
I could talk about it, but then again, I brought it down to it's more the same, but it's simplified, so it's more accessible for newer players. But it's going into wild players.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be. It's fixed the issue of simple to understand, but it will go deep.
Okay.
But there will still be the massive passive tree. There will still be the massive endgame tree and everything else. Just like you'll be able to go, oh yeah, this makes more sense to me now.
They've made it so the massive passive tree in the background is still there. It's just like, and here it is in bite-sized chunks, so you can figure out the fuck you're doing. Good.
Yeah,
okay. That's perfect.
Basically, one of the major changes is each part of the passive tree is its own zone dedicated to a type of skill.
Okay.
So if you wanted range damage, there is a range damage section.
You just have to get over there, and that's fine. Okay,
Yes.
that's fine. Okay, that makes more sense.
I must admit, I am massively tempted with PoE 2.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation many times, and I'm not bringing it up on stream because it will end up with me throttling someone. I don't like Tencent. I don't like the company. This is one of the few games where I'm tempted to put that aside. However, I need to know one thing, and that's how easy is it to remove my points from that damn skill tree? Because in the first game, that was toxic and predatory as shit.
Gold. They confirmed we've got gold in this, and you will be able to move it via gold.
So
Okay.
Diablo 4 style.
So gold is in-game currency, I assume.
Yes.
As in you just loot that from monsters, which is fine.
Yes.
However, is it limited? Is it stupidly expensive? How are they making it a resource you can earn, but it's just easier to pay for?
No,
That's one thing
No,
that.
it's gold within game. Gold cannot be bought at any point externally. You can only get gold in game.
No, sorry.
By-
what I
by
mean is,
getting
can you buy the you can buy the respec with gold, but can you also?
No.
buy the
No,
respec
you can
with-
only respect via gold. That is
Okay,
the only way you can respect.
That's a good thing then.
Yeah.
I am now much more interested.
And depend.
30 quid price tag
yeah.
is fucking annoying, but
Yeah. So, is PoE 2 30 quid?
beta access is $30.
Oh, beta access. Okay, fine. So, I'm expecting it to be free again, like they had the main bit.
It
But
will be.
No,
the one
it
thing
is
else,
free. Yeah,
it's
it
going
is
to be
free.
free. That's fine.
Yeah.
So the one thing I will say with PoE as well, they are one of the few that is one of the few monetization methods that I've looked at and gone, okay, fine, cool, because you cannot do anything in game that interacts with your cat that does anything to give you an edge over anyone with money. You
No.
cannot.
Yeah.
You can only
That's fine.
you can only level up. You can respec in game in PoE 1 with, but you have to grind for the items. There's no gold in PoE 1. That's probably the biggest change. But the only thing you can buy with money is purely visual. It's like you can make your character look like this purple weird thing or stuff like that. That's the only thing I think you can
there's
get.
a caveat to that. You can buy inventory space and
Inventory
specific
space.
inventory for gems and for other items you collect. So
You say something that brings me in, and then you say something that puts me off again.
Yeah.
but that was in PoE 1. We don't know about PoE 2.
Yeah.
PoE 2 could be different.
I wonder if they get. I can understand the premium tabs of like these are tabs with the same amount of storage. It's just laid out such that it works well for one thing, and you could just manually do it yourself as well. That's where I was like, okay, but I don't think you could buy extra tabs in PoE 1.
Yes, you can buy extra tabs.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically,
anyway.
I've been playing it for basically 10 years. I have spent 25 quid. That's
Total.
all I spent.
It was always just
Yeah.
here is a huge skill tree that laughs at Final Fantasy X Sphere Grid.
Oh, yeah.
We're not going to tell you much about it, and if you get it wrong, that's a permanent fuck up unless you then invest more time to undo your fuck up that we didn't tell you was a fuck up.
Yeah,
Two other things to make things a lot simpler now is that there's only 2 potion slots. There's one for health, one for mana. That is it.
Okay.
Also, you can now have trigger effects via gems, via trinkets that will trigger effects based on the trinket. So if you reach 10% health, use potion, or if you reach 10% health, use shield. That's in the game as well.
Oh, auto triggers using them. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And also the skill system is utterly different. It's now no longer on the armor. It's now in a separate window that you slot in. And you can now build your own passes to it. So if you had a bow, want poison damage, as to say, you can now craft that to add to that skill. And you can actually move them around.
Interesting.
So the skill system is now fully customizable down to the basics.
Rather than being, I need to grind for this one thing with the right thing. Yeah, okay, that's actually kind of nice. You can still grind for all sorts of things, but it's going to be like you can grind for the specific thing you want, rather than it's just happens to be on this piece of armor that you get from this guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I just hope they make it viable end game, because a lot of games that have that level of customization, it's either speed or strength. You go, speed, strength, or intellect. Essentially, you go for one, and going for anything else at all is useless. You have wasted your time.
Yes. Perfect. So one that it was diverse as fuck, and this is to make it even more diverse. There is no wrong way to play a game once you know what you're doing.
Yeah. That's nice. I definitely want to give it a go. I wish I'd have got into Path of Exile when it was first out, and I didn't know what it was, and by the time I did, god damn, that skill tree's a put up.
Yeah, I mean the thing that I think probably the biggest thing that kind of dampened my spirits on playing PoE, even though I tried it multiple times with it, was the recommendation of go to this site that's affiliated with it and pick a build and follow that. It's like, I just want to stab things. I've got to go and pick this, and I've picked the wrong what do you mean by this? No, as long as it's pick up, play game, get to the end of the story, and then you go, right, okay, now I've probably got enough gold to respec my entire character at least once or twice. Now I can fuck with it because I understand the game. That's how it works with Diablo 4. I will definitely say Diablo 4 did a good job of that.
One different change to pacing, like with they've copied that with Diablo 4 as well. Endgame is not level 100. Endgame is at level 65. Level 100 is 65 to 100 is the endgame.
And getting to level 100 will be thousands of hours, I guess.
Yes.
For the average player.
Yeah, they've already confirmed the first 3 acts of the game, if you don't know what you're doing, will be 25 hours.
Okay, that's not bad.
It'll be 6 hours. So 50 hours to get the end game if you don't know. If you know what you're doing, it's like a third of that.
But yeah, I mean, I'm guessing they're still doing the season thing where you start from scratch and go through for the seasonal character, and they focus more on the seasons.
They'll have the ongoing characters and the seasonal characters like the PO. They converted that day one, so we knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, interesting. Well, hey, maybe I think I'm gonna let it cook and wait for the beta to come out to follow.
The beta is out in 2 weeks. It's the 9th of December. It was delayed 3 weeks because of issues I had.
Should have been out already, but they've pushed it back to make sure it's ready, which again I approve of.
Yep. I'd rather wait and they get it right. That's been proven time again. Don't rush it. Don't rush it.
We don't have enough to be getting on with.
Yeah, please delay it another 6 months. I want to finish Satisfactory first.
Half-Life Blue Shift, Half-Life Opposing Force, Castlevania, Little Big Adventure, Kingdom Under Fire, Metal Slug, and Vampire Survivors alone these last 2 weeks. I have enough to be getting on with.
Blue Shift.
It was 95p. I couldn't resist.
Oh, okay. So I was like, has Blue Shift had a remaster and I've not noticed? No. God damn it, Simon.
I tell you what, actually, there's something we do need to play as a group together. Have you guys seen I know it's called Follow Freeman for the second one, Synergy mod for Half-Life, where you can play Half-Life 1 full co-op?
Oh,
we should play that.
We should do that. That sounds fun.
Considering I haven't played Half-Life 1 or 2.
Oh, beautiful.
I've only played Alex.
Pick a Thursday. We're doing this.
2 weeks from now?
Straight after podcast. Okay, yeah, sure.
Or next week. We could do next week without a podcast. We just do it as part of a
down for that.
I'm not around, but I'm not going to stop you.
Oh, boo you.
Yeah, work has managed to organise a games night.
Oh yes, we did talk about that.
All right, well then we could do 3 weeks from now. Yeah. Make sure everything's all set.
So the one I'm trying to think of now, there was a Half-Life co-op game on PS2.
Ooh. Isn't that Black Mesa or no?
Half-Life Decay.
Decay.
Yeah. Oh, me and my mate played that a lot. It's PlayStation 2. Came out in 2001. We got stuck halfway through and had to print out, and I had to wait for to download and print out the instructions.
Oh right. Game FAQs, fucking love them.
Yeah.
Get on those Neo-Seeker forums, find the cheats.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, okay. I'm 3 weeks from today is what? 28th, 5th, 12th? Is that right?
Something like that, yeah.
5th will be next podcast, so 12th is the weekend a week in between. 12th. We'll pencil it in for the 12th.
Okay. Penciled in for the 12th.
Cool. I haven't played Half-Life 3 in a long time.
I've played it a lot more recently because I did Black Mesa recently. But it was gorgeous.
You can even change your characters in the Synergy mod, and they've got the original Gordon Freeman model, which is based on Brian Blessed.
So that will give us 3 weeks to make sure it's working.
Nice.
Yeah, I can do that this weekend and get it up and running and make sure. Cool. That's an instantaneous plan that I am very happy with.
Yeah. Sweet.
Right.
But I do have to wrap up because the dog is yelling at me. So, let's start with the shortest shout out ever, Kremlik.
Yes, I exist.
Hang on. What?
Caedes.
Fine.
Go to Sarin after because mine's going to be a little longer and he needs to bail.
Okay, Sarin then.
All right, I am SarinTal. As you guys heard, I will be playing Star Citizen tomorrow, tackling the third phase of the event along with the IAE Expo. So you guys come check that out if you want to fly around some ships, get up to some mayhem. Make sure to use the referral code when you create your account. That will give me a little bit of a bonus and some extra credits for you guys if you do choose to set up a permanent account. And there'll be more on Saturday as well with Beyblade on the Beyblade channel using the QR code there. You guys will get the links for all the relevant stuff. Caedes.
I am CaedesEnder. I am a variety streamer, though mainly focusing on the retro and RPG, sometimes at the same time. Current stream schedule is every Saturday for the RPG, every Sunday for the retro games, and then alternating Thursdays and Fridays, depending on D&D and podcasts, for the whatever we want, essentially. Currently playing through Eternal Sonata, coming to the end of that, and this weekend's game, after the failure that was only last Sunday, is going to be Catherine, which is a fever dream and a half, so join us for that. And the reason for the longer shout out is if you go into the Broken Respawn Discord right now, head up to the events page and check it out. I have just posted during this during this podcast, the Bad Sweater Secret Santa 2024, which involves people getting given a random member of the community's name, who they are to gift a game to. The rules being that game must be on Steam, it must be less than $5, and it must be overwhelmingly or mostly negative. We're looking for the worst of the worst, and then we're all going to gather post next podcast, which will be the 19th. No, post the December podcast, which will be the 19th. Yeah. To sit down, play, and mock each other's games and vote for which one is the worst.
Nice.
So hopefully you all get involved in that. We had a nice little turnout last year.
Yeah.
Sliver.
Yeah, and I'm TBSliver, and I forgot everything that I was going to be saying.
Good night.
Hey, good night. Yeah, no. Brain. Yeah, I'm TBSliver. I normally stream Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. ish. I'll be live tomorrow night with some more Satisfactory or Void Souls, or maybe most likely, I think. Brain space permitting, if I'm not in the brain for it, it'll be Satisfactory, because for some reason that's a nice chill game for me, even though it's heavy maths. Other than that, yeah. Join me in not this Saturday, but Saturday after, for the Short Play Saturday, where I think, actually, I can't remember if I was doing something silly with Lydia for that, because she's in town. So maybe we do it's a Lydia special, or it's a co-op special. So we shall see. But yes, other than that, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. What the hell's it done with Sarin? Oh, it's actually just Sarin. Sarin's gone. Sarin got dragged away by the dog.
Sarin has.
He has absolutely vanished. So
SarinTal to SarinTal.
Yeah. Other than that, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks. Be there and be square.
Possibly. Ta-ra.
Catch you later, folks.